What is this? Look at all those, what are those fucking knobs on those tires? You guys forget? Fucking gravel racer, alright? This is a 66 mile, 66.6, I know Bo did that intentionally. Gravel race, the Caldwell County Classic, down towards Lockhart, which is kind of the premier graveling in Texas, I would say, at least down where I live in Austin. And yeah, so there's a bunch of fucking people in this race, and this is kind of like the first like big gravel race of the year here. And what do? Attack immediately. I have no teammates, and look at this, just fucking, it's part of the road, it just goes up. This is what, 5 miles into the race? Look at that. What do I say here? No one went with me. There's like 2 guys up the road, so I go into like just TT mode. You can see it's, 30 miles an hour or so. This is one of my favorite areas to train anyway. So yeah, I'm just cruising. It's not too hard. Now I do eventually get 2 other riders that come up with me, which is surprising that there weren't more, or at least more of a reaction from the field. It is like a mixed field, like men, women. And so there's a wildlife generation guy, and this is actually one of my teammates, who is Tyler, who is supposed to ride with in Panama, but then there's this whole debacle where apparently if you are going to Panama, your passport has to be valid for more than 90 days. Mine was valid for 86 days. It seems just kind of ludicrous that so you can have an expiration date into the future, but your passport can still not be valid. It's one of 5 countries in the world that has that sort of rule. Yeah, it's like Croatia, New Zealand, Albania. Who would have knew? Who would have guessed? But maybe they thought I was gonna elope to Panama and, I don't know, try and find the Panama paper source or something like that if I can find out. Anyway, we catch this like group. There's probably like 8 of us now. We got one more guy up here. Why am I blanking on his name? Michael Jones, who's like fucking diesel, and racing for the Meteor. He went out early, and definitely a guy you can kind of rely on. So there's a few real strong riders in this. I didn't do power overlays for the whole thing because like syncing it up is so fucking weird. Like you gotta find you can't also like find a point on these roads because like Google Maps doesn't know where the fuck you are. There's no intersections. These are like back-ass roads, so it's like it'd just be totally off. But we have the most ripping tailwind of all time. I think like we're pulling through at like 35 miles an hour on gravel, which is really fun. Like sometimes like 40. Yeah, see, I brought a lot of people up. That's what he was saying. That wasn't too many. We just kind of absorbed. We popped some people in the hills. Look at this woman over here. She got so mad that we were riding fast. See, I yell at her. I was probably going to say something more vulgar, but I try and tone it down, I guess, sometimes. But it's beautiful roads. And I think it is 35. But yeah, I don't know why she's so mad. And like, I'm like, we're the small group. Fucking, there's going to be like 120 riders coming up behind, so I'm sure she's going to flip the fuck out again. But yeah, it's pretty hard packed gravel. I don't really know much about gravel. I don't care to know. I just go. And I didn't obviously record all this 66-mile race. But as you can see, we have local gravel rider Colin Strickland here. So yeah, it's like some big competition. Their group didn't bridge immediately, but they bridged later. So, and I said earlier in this race, I was just like, okay, so Colin, Tristan, Stefan, and Hugo are all going to come up. And they all did. I was right. All 4 of them. So now we have like a pretty sizable group of like strong people. We're going to be, kind of just battling out for the next while. I don't anticipate there much attacking to go on this early. Again, 66 miles. Like there's some rollers at the end where I think we're going to try and lose some people here and there. So, but this is a setup shot here. It's really pretty. We're riding pretty wide. The wind's coming from I guess from the right here. So we're just kind of like pace lining it. You do get into some tricky scenarios with pace lining and gravel. The middle is so fucked. It's like deep, or just like not like hard packed, so it can be a little tricky. Now, I did actually add power to this clip. Took me a while to find, but there's a KOM here. It's like $100, and it's supposed to be at the top of this hill, right? Watch this. Watch how fucking Bo needs to get shit together. There's the truck. You see that truck pull up really quick. He's supposed to go to the top of the hill to get the KOM. He does not. So Colin was in the front. Didn't even have to try. Free money. All right. You're sponsored by Red Bull. You should look. Boom. We got the KOM. Base of the climb. So whack. I was so ready for that. Again, I have no teammates. You see that Elbows jersey? We're not racing together. I'm racing for myself. But yeah, this is a fucking gnarly ass little chopper. These little like 500 watt rollers, 700 watt rollers, they're kind of obnoxious, but whatever. 66 miles.
Well, that was silly.
Yeah, see, queuing up for the top. Everyone was. Colin exploited it. Can't believe it. Where am I? What am I doing here? What am I roll? Oh yeah, everyone wants to know like what tires are you running, what PSI. I don't know shit about that stuff. I'm running some Vittoria ones. Vittorias with actually Easton, like not deep wheels, but they're like moderately, I think 30 millimeter to fucking roll fast. Shout out to them for giving me those. Now I actually used some of Stefan's footage because my GoPro died. The latter half of the race, I mean, it's kind of like, gravel edits are really hard to make when you have to record your own fucking footage. But Colin is like trying to split up the field as much as possible, so he's like pretty much attacking like, I would say every like 5 minutes or so, just some deep digs. I actually end up closing down most of them because, I don't know, I know that if I can just keep it together, I'll win the sprint. Like Tristan's here and he's really fast. See, there's me, look at that, hulking, not aero. Ugh, so terrible. My form is just like bows out. Yeah, see, I kind of like pull through and I'm like, look at that cadence too. I'm just chomping, not even trying to spin, just girth, just pedaling. Also shout out to Rafa. I didn't have my team kit in time, but now I do. Now Hugo's going as well. He's riding for this travel team, Avis. He usually rides for Gateway. Here's another clip. I think Colin's gonna go again on the left side. Yeah, he does. Snap is just, you know, it's hard. I think he needs the race to be 200 miles or more. I think that is the requirement. But yeah, so it's like we like lose, I would say like 2 people out of this group after the attack. So it comes down to I think like a group of 6. I'd have to look at the results. But what happens? You know, who's gonna win this showdown? I mean, we have Texas's best gravel racer, Stefan. You know, Tristan, Hugo. I win. Okay. Look at all these fucking power spikes. You can see actually all those spikes later are Colin's attacks that I'm covering. So pretty sizable amount. You can see, well, that's a pretty high, you know, average power. What do you call it? 300, 311. Also my favorite band. And 20.5 miles an hour is pretty good considering the fucking headwind we had on the way back. Grinding cadence. But yeah, look at that. I fucking won. All right. So yeah, Colin Strickland was in the field. Has Colin won Unbound? Yes. I beat Colin in this race. Could I win Unbound? Probably. I think that's my next target race for 2022. I really think there's not much of a difference between 66 miles. Also, this is funny. I put this in here. Everyone else had to wear a fucking mask on the podium outside. This is like right before all that data came out where it's like, oh shit, we actually don't have any proven cases of COVID being transmitted outside, like via contact tracing. So yeah, fuck that. Remember all that shit I got? Fuck all you guys. Where's my fucking apology? All right? I don't get one, do I? I don't give a fuck. You guys are wrong. I was fucking racing outside, having fun. Everyone else wearing masks on podiums because their sponsors are getting pissed about it if they don't. So fucking whack. All that shit's just virtue signaling, okay? No one gives a fuck. Bye.